Hello everyone and welcome to the third part of section 1 of the complete Python 3 course. Now, if you remember, in the last video we discussed strings and some functions related to strings, and before that we discussed the print function, integers and the floating points. So if you haven't watched that video yet, make sure to check it out. The link of those videos or the last video will be in the description box down below. So make sure you check it out so you get the idea of what is Python and how are we going to learn it. So in this video, as promised, we're going to learn variables and basic arithmetic in Python. Arithmetic or arithmetic, I don't know the exact pronunciation. Most people call it arithmetic and most call it arithmetic. So I will call it arithmetic as for the spelling. So in this video, we're going to learn variables and arithmetic. Now, variables, as I said, they are very important. In the last video I said that we have a function in strings, string literal. It's the short form for dot format, and we can use it when you have variables. So now let's see what are variables and how do we use them. Now, variables are places or certain type of things or an element to store data or store a value of a data type or object. Now, if you have the knowledge of basic algebra, we have variables in algebra in math. So even if you didn't study algebra or basic algebra, don't worry, this tutorial or this video is for the purpose to tell you that what are variables in general and what are variables in programming. Now, variables in general in maths, we use them to store numbers, and then we use them later into our equations to solve our equations. But variables in programming are not only used to store numbers, but they are also used to store strings, floating points, lists, dictionaries, tuples, sets, and these things we're going to discuss in in the next parts. So today we're going to learn how to store things with variables. Now we know we have discussed that we have integers like 15, floating points like 15.5. I get the point, 15.5, and we have strings like hello. Now we have variables to store them. So let me give you an example. Now take an example if you have a form of a school to fill in, and then we're going to say student name is, if I just write them correctly, student name is this, and student name, and we have student grade and student, and let's say and student age. Okay, let me just write it in lowercase. Now we can fill this randomly or manually. Let's say student name is equal to Josh, and student grade, I just put it, student grade, let's say it's the 5th grade, just randomly. Okay, it's just an example, it's not any real data. And student age 11 maybe, yeah. So now we have this kind of a certificate or information or data about a student. Now a school doesn't have only one student, it has hundreds of thousands of students, even tens of thousands of students to be specific. Now then, if we have so many students, we don't only create data for one student, but we create a data for every single student in that class or in that school. So if we have 1,000 students and we want to create 1,000 sentences of data like this: student name is equal to Josh, student grade is equal to 5th, and student age is equal to 11. Then we gotta rename this again and again. First we did for Josh, then we're gonna do for Nick, and the list goes on. And doing that manually is hard, and that's not the way to do it, that if you have the knowledge of programming. Now the best way to do these things. Now student data is another example that comes in automation, but let me just give another quick example. For example, the principal said that create a sentence or data of a student, and he said that create a data for Josh. Then we have name is equal to Josh. That's how we store variables. We just name the variable, the equal sign, and the value for it. Now we named Josh. The name is equal to Josh. Grade, let's say, is equal to. Let's put this in string. 5th, and age is equal to 11. Just because we don't need to change that later, so that's why I'm putting it in a string. Okay, now let's see. Okay, we have the name, grade, and age. Okay, and how do we just get them here? That's the question. And if you remember from the last video, we discussed the F string literal. So we put an F before starting the string, and then we have a formatting string. Now how do we pull or just push these things into this sentence? Well, that's the way to do this, and the way is to just name the variable inside brackets, brackets or curly braces, whatever we're gonna call it. And student grade is equal to grade. Student age, let's say age. Okay, and that's how the F string literals work with variables. Now if I run this, see, student name Josh, student grade 5th, and student age 11. So this is the F string literal with variables. Now I'm just giving you an advice that be careful naming the variables. First of all, don't name your variables like X or Y. If you're doing it for the short examples, then yeah, that's correct, but don't give them short names. Just give them the perfect referred name. Now I know the age is 11, so if I just say X is equal to 11, then I'll forget that what's X, like what am I even naming 11? Okay, so you better put the exact same thing or the exact same data name. Okay, now we formatted these variable values into our sentence with the F string literal. All we did is assign these variables to these values. Then we said F string literal, and we said that student name, like after student name and after the colons, Python just bring the value of a name here, and then after student grades, bring the value of grade over here, and then after the student age, bring the value of age in these brackets. And if you notice, if you run it, we don't have brackets anymore, and that's just amazing, because Python is a very powerful language. It can help you in many ways. Now that we've discussed what are variables and how to use them, let's discuss basic arithmetic in Python. And before discussing basic arithmetic in Python, I just want to say that do not name your variables in uppercase. That will be very confusing for you when you start programming with classes, and we start object oriented programming. So you just the best practice is to name them correctly, name them to the exact data type, and name them in lowercase, all characters in lowercase. Now let's see basic arithmetic in Python. So in basic math, or when we perform basic equations, we use the positive sign for addition, the subtraction sign for subtraction, or I mean the negative sign for subtraction, and we use the sign of multiplication, and it looks something like X. Okay, it's not X, but it looks something like X. I don't know the name, but it looks something like X, and we use that for multiplication. And for division, we use a subtraction type, and we have a dot, or a dot over it and a dot under it, and we don't have an option of that sign in the computer unless we have a specified function for it. But in programming, we use we as math, we use the plus sign or positive sign for addition. Subtraction, we have the negative sign, but for multiplication we use the asteroid sign. And that's a bit of different, but that's very easy to remember, because in programming you don't use x, you just use the asteroid instead of for multiplication instead of x. And for division we use backslash. Okay, so these are very easy to remember. Don't get don't worry if you're thinking that how I'm gonna remember this. As you walk through, as you do some projects, as you work with Python, you're gonna automatically remember these. And you don't need to remember these, because me myself, I don't remember the every single sign or symbol for the arithmetic in Python, because remembering the syntax is not useful. If you just remember word by word, you'll forget it every time. The basic thing you need is to know how to use those functions, but not like remembering the exact same syntax. I'm not saying that don't remember the syntax, but take syntax as don't just remember the words, understand the syntax. Don't remember it, understand it, and take that, how do I use them. Now that we've just seen what are the signs for the basic arithmetic, let's do some arithmetic. Now if I say print 5, if I just write it correctly, print, here I go, 5 plus 5. Okay, and if I run it, I have 10. Okay, so this is basically basic math. And if and subtraction, 5 minus 5 is equal to 0, 5 into 5, 25. Okay, and 5 divided by 5 is still 0. So 1. I'm sorry, it's 1. So this was basic math or arithmetic in Python. But I have a different symbol that is not quite often used, but you should remember it when you make like something mathematical that's useful for it. Now if I just say 5 percentage sign and then 5, it's gonna give me 0. And the reason is this function returns the remainder of that equation, the division equation. So all we're doing here is the division equation, but we're getting the remainder. So the equation 5 divided by 5 has the remainder 0, and that's what it gave us. So this was basic arithmetic in Python. And combining variables with basic arithmetic, let's just create some variables with the function or equations having. Okay, so add is equal to addition. For addition I have add, 5 plus 5. Sub is for subtraction I have sub, 5. I'll do 5 minus 5. And multiplication I'll just say mult, and I'm gonna just say 5 into 5. And I'm just doing it with 5, but you can do it with any number. Take it as math. Okay, and if I just say div is equal to 5.5 divided by 6.5. So see, we can do it with any number, but it has to be a number. And if I just print div and run it, I get this big number because it divided 6.5 on 5.5. And if I just say mult 25, 5 into 5 is 25. So this was the basic take from variables. Again, let's revise it. Variables are used to store data types. Okay, for example, name, and name say Josh, and we have basic arithmetic signs. For example, plus, minus, and backslash for division, asteroid for multiplication. So this was basics about variables and basic arithmetic. Don't worry if you don't remember these things. You just practice them with some examples I gave, like the form of the student. Try different names on that, and don't try to just remember it word by word. Try it, understand it, just understand how to use them. So whenever someone gives you variables in arithmetic science, you should know how to use them. You can take references from Google at any point, and we will discuss advanced arithmetic science in the future, because now we don't need them. Okay, they're not important, but when you give big examples, we have big examples, we're gonna use them. So if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, turn the bell notifications on so you don't miss any updates from this channel, and comment down below if you have any question about variables and arithmetic in Python. I'll clear that for you. It's very easy, and just try to understand it. Don't remember it, okay? Understand it. And I'll see you in the next video where we discuss lists, a whole topic about lists. And lists, trust me, lists are very interesting to like work with. And I'll see you in the next video where we discuss lists. Thank you so much for watching.